little fire lighter. I don't know whether it's going to work, but just shove some kitchen roll in an old toilet roll. See what happens. Hello and welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Dave. I'm out in my back garden and I'm doing a really special cook today. Something that I've kind of been planning on in the background for a long time. So at the Bushcraft show last April, May, whenever it was we were at the Bushcraft show, I went to a stall and bought a piece of gear that just looks brilliant, and this is kind of the first time I've really had the opportunity and time to have a go at trying to do it. So the little bit of gear that I've bought will hopefully turn this zebra billy can into an oven. It's a, which size is it? It's the 14 inch, does it call itself? I can't see through all the soot and muck and dirt on it, but this should turn the zebra billy can into an oven, and it is simply this clever little bit of gear here. I'm trying to see if it says 14 on it. Yes, it does. So with this bit of gear, it's going to turn the zebra billy can into an oven. So at the Bushcraft show, there was a fantastic little stall, a little independent guy, and he gave me his card. Where did I put his card? So yeah, I went to Rough Timba. Fantastic little site. In fact, let me even get closer. You might even be able to scan the QR code. Who knows, eh? Try and scan the QR code. Go and give him a like. Check him out on Instagram. But I went to Rough Timba, and for not very much, I mean, I have a feeling it might have been less than a tenner. Might have been around about a tenner. This bit of gear is potentially going to change my fireside cooking life, giving me an option of a fire oven. My fire's burning and it's smoking me out, so I'm going to let the fire burn down, and then I'm going to use the ashes and that bed of heat that there should be in there to try and bake a cake and a loaf of bread, using the other thing that I got with my Rough Timba purchase. He sold these cute little tins which should slide into the zebra billy and allow me to bake a cake and a loaf of bread. It's going to be nice, it's going to be silly. We'll see if it works, we'll see how long I should have given it. It could be a disaster. This is the first time I've tried using this. This is completely new. So thank you for joining the video. Let's have a look and see what we can come up with. Alright, so I've got the fire. It's sort of doing its thing. It's probably getting towards the end of what it needs to do. Hello. So I'll just show you what this thing is. So Rough Timba, they do it in a variety of different sizes for whichever size zebra billy can you want to use it for. So I bought the one that is specifically for the 14. See there, it says 14. So you get your zebra billy can, which is overdue some wire wool, I think, and the metal plate just sits inside, meaning that when you start cooking and you place this whole zebra billy can on the fire, there's space between, so it shouldn't have like that initial sort of surface burn, which is really cool. And then the little baking trays that I've got, you don't need to use baking trays, these little things here. You could just stick a whole joint of pork on there, you know, a little small wrapped up parcel of chicken wrapped in bacon or something like that. You could sit on there and roast it on the fire. But these little trays, they just slide in and sit inside here. We'll pop the lid on, place it on the fire, leave it for as long as we need to, and then carefully take it off, carefully remove our bread and our cake, and enjoy. So I need to line these up, but I haven't got any baking paper, because like most people, our cupboards have a thing that says it's baking paper and a thing that says it's cling film and a thing that says it's tin foil. Though, you know, the packaging, nothing inside any of them. No cling film, no tin foil, no baking parchment. Mrs. Bushcraft Day is looking at me angrily.
Did you look like a woman? Or did you look like a man?
I didn't look like a woman, no, I looked like a man. And I didn't find any. So,
was some on the shelf.
whatever she says. I'm going to just basically do the old school bit of butter on the inside just to line it. Yeah, it's all coming together nicely. Just line these baking trays. What I've done, because this isn't really about like a cake recipe or a bread recipe or anything like that, we bought just a bag of bread mix, which is not getting wasted because the rest of it's going to be used by the kids to make some sort of nice platted loaves of bread or something, and then just a cheap bag of Victoria sponge mix, which I've just stolen a little bit of. So here's my cake mix. Let's try and put this carefully into one of my baking trays. So hopefully, it's quite satisfying, isn't it? So there we go. I can't really show you, but I've got the cake batter in here, and hopefully that should rise anyway and come up a bit, so that's going to be quite exciting. And Bushcraft Jr. has made a big old load of bread, so I'm just going to steal some of that so that we can stick it in the other tin and make a loaf. So I'll get that sorted. Bear with. What, do the foldy thing so it doesn't stick? But I don't think that matters because it will just stick to the pan anyway.
How will
And
it not stick?
what?
How will it not stick when you fold it under?
You sort of tuck in under the wet bit, and the dry bit sort of stays there. It's what they do when they're making like little dumplings and stuff, don't they? But anyway, well, it might rise in the thing, so we'll see. Yeah, I think it's too small. I'm gonna get more. I'm not. What? What are you saying?
So it'll take over the world.
It won't take over the world. It's just gonna take over that zebra billy can. We'll have a 14-inch bread loaf,
How big are you?
which is what we asked for, isn't it?
Centimetre.
What?
14 centimetres.
No. The 14-centimetre zebra billy can.
You must try it.
Yes, I know, but I'm not very good at measuring. They're all laughing at me, and probably with fair cause. So, in it goes. My little bread, which will sort of fill out and rise up and stuff. I'm sure if I were clever, I could probably put little snip or a nick in the top to, but I'm not that clever. Let's piece it all together then. So we've got the zebra billy, my Rough Timba 14-centimetre tray. I'm getting bullied here, left, right, and centre. It's meant to be Christmas, and everyone's picking on me. And I made them a fire, and I'm making them a cake and some bread, and I've strung up these lights. They don't appreciate me. So we shall go in with our bread loaf, which we'll stick on one side. We'll get our vanilla sponge cake, which we shall put on the other side, so they just sit beautifully and snugly side by side in here. And I will pop the lid on. Now, I know some people have done some clever stuff to be able to secure their zebra billy. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it so that it's level with the, hang on, so that it is parallel to the joints of the billy can. So when I put it in, I can lower it in so that it's the right way up, which is very clever. But I know some people have done clever things with metal clips to be able to make this thing stay on. I'm just going to wedge it in the fire up against one of the logs to stop this bit coming off. So my intention is to put this in the fire and cook it for how long?
I reckon 15 minutes. For the
15 minutes for the cake.
cake, and then see how the bread
maybe 30 minutes for the. But listen, it's not a massive loaf, is it? So like we're talking about reducing, scaling things down a bit. It will cook a lot quicker than a full-on cake and a full-on loaf of bread. Bear with me. I'm going to pop this in the fire. Okay, I've got me my Petromax fire gloves just to vaguely protect my hands a little bit as I put this in. Stay there. Stay there. Right, how do I make this work? I think as I go in, and then I rest that head end against there. It's in. Let's give it 15 minutes. Oh no, I've had a disaster. Look, the whole thing's fell over and the cake's come out. And it's all right. I'm gonna try and fix this. I'm gonna try and fix it. I mean, it is salvaged, but not the cake. I mean, the cake, I don't know whether you can even see the cake tin. There's the cake tin, look. It fell out. I guess this is lessons for me, isn't it, really? The bread, obviously, because it's all just sturdy anyway inside it, that's fine. It's back inside and being smoked out. And I think that's probably because all the cake fell into the lid when it all tipped over as the wood shifted and the cake just poured out into the lid. I sort of threw everything to one side, put the lid back on, but the lid's still got cake, which will be burning and ingraining itself onto the inside of the lid. Oh dear. A proper YouTuber would like edit all this, wouldn't they? And they'd be like, there was no problems, it all went according to plan. You're gonna get me warts and all. Still gonna get something. It'll probably be burnt, but we'll still get something. Are you happy? Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, well, despite all the chaos, let's take it out and see what we've ended up with. Yeah. Right. It is hot, so I'm just going to pop it down. Obviously the cake's all burned on the inside, but how is our... Well, I think...
I can't see it.
You can't see it? Do you know why you can't see it? Because it is so burnt.
Oh my god.
It is... Oh my goodness. Right. Well, I'll put it on. I'll put it on the back of my glove so you can actually see it.
I think we should try another one.
Well, maybe this is going to have to be another experiment for another day.
I
But
think we should put another one in right now and
Do
give
another
it
one
half
right
the
now?
time. Yeah.
It looks like a piece of coal.
And just see if
well,
half
let's
the
see.
time
Let's see if
is
I can
good.
even break it open.
So the bread inside looks
Bread
amazing.
inside is okay.
I think
So let's let this pan cool down a bit. There is still some heat on this fire. Yeah, we'll give it another go. We'll give it 10 minutes.
Right.
Try again.
So half the time. Still ridiculous. I mean, maybe it is just ridiculously hot in there. Who knows?
It could be. I mean, the thing is, half the time might lead to it not being cooked, you know?
Yeah.
So, we'll pop him in. We'll get the lid on.
I wish we had a thermometer. See how hot it actually was. Those gloves are amazing.
Oh. I definitely think an issue for me,
Yeah.
nothing to do with the Rough Timba,
Is it you need clips for your
is
clip,
that
don't
I
you?
don't have a way of keeping that lid on.
go.
Right, we'll go
Right,
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
See what happens.
So,
Second time lucky, we've just done 10 minutes this time. Let's take it off. Let's see what we got. Oh, much better. That looks more like a loaf, doesn't it? A little bit burnt on one side.
just
Starting to burn. But if you look from that side, we can pretend that it's actually a really nice loaf of bread. Let's just ignore the burnt side.
I think there's trial and error in this.
But there's definitely going to be something about direct heat and stuff as to maybe where we went wrong last time. But let's at least cut it open and see if we've got a loaf of bread. Should we cut into it and see if it's any good?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look.
Oh, it looks pretty
know
much
what?
cooked through.
That don't look too bad, does it? That looks pretty good. I reckon it's probably sort of thing where it is undercooked and it could probably do with another 5 or 10 minutes. But this is where I need Rough Timba, I reckon, to help me out. So I'm going to message you on Instagram or something like that. But what have we done wrong? Did I do it wrong by putting it directly on the fire? I think ultimately that's where it's going to be the problem. That actually, and he has some other fantastic products about putting stuff that's to the side of the fire. I think that this actually, once you've created what you need to, if you put it on the edge of the fire, you're not necessarily going to get direct heat, and we just need to keep turning it and moving it and stuff like that. But it definitely made a difference that the first time I cooked it, all flames were licking around it. It were all ablaze, and I thought I'd got it all died down, but I hadn't. But now the second time that we've cooked it, it was very much more on embers. There's still some flames, and I wonder whether that's where we got the burnt side from. I'm going to get some pate on it to get it eaten. I'm going to just grab a little bit anyway. Yeah, it's maybe... I mean, I'm rubbish at baking bread anyway. That is not bad. In all honesty, I reckon we've cooked it alright. Yeah. I actually reckon count number 2 as a success. Sorry, Liv, I'm not going to talk for a minute. I'm just going to enjoy my bread. So there you have it. This week's video was a bit of a trial run at using my new metal plate that I can put inside a zebra billy to try and roast things on, or maybe we've learned, to the side of the fire. This definitely needs a lot more trial and error, and it is definitely not the fault of the product. The product's brilliant. The problem is me. I'm an idiot and I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's why these things are all about practicing stuff, trying stuff. It definitely makes me want to try and do some wrapped cuts of meat and stuff that can go into there. Might even try and do fish fingers or something like that. I don't know. There's all sorts of bonkers stuff that I can do with it. But the fact that when you're out on a camp and you want to maybe cook some bread and it's possible, well, I think we're on to a winner. I need to get the cake right, and I need to try and get some clips on it. Somebody who knows what they're doing, let me know. Other than that, thanks for joining me. See you in the next one. Right, I'll put my glasses on now so I can actually see. Oh, hello everyone.